You're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is the Young and the Restless edition. Today is Wednesday, May 10th, 2023. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this one. It was solid. I'm going to give it a 6. We start off with Elena and Audra. Audra don't know when to lay off, but Elena thinks that's her friend, so she's talking to her about everything that happened in LA. And Elena just says, he's not the man I thought he was, and the reason I hung on so long is because I hurt Devon for no reason. I'm running after Nate. I held on to Nate because it was like I had to have a reason. The relationship had to work because if not, then I've hurt Devon. I broke up that for no reason. And Audrey is just like, yeah, but you can't ch- uh, predict the future. So no, it might not have worked out, but it's not your fault. And Elena said, I know it's not my fault. That it's all on Nate why this didn't work out and whatnot. She said, but I couldn't even sleep in our bed, so I moved out, left the key. So then Audrey is like, well, maybe you can bring JT in, because that child, she don't. Elena's sitting here handing Nate over to Audrey, but she said maybe you can bring JT in, and she said maybe, but I said, Elena, just let it go. Don't be vengeful or anything like that. Just let it go. And so then, as they're talking, Elena warns Audra about Nate and tells her, if he could betray his family and me, he don't sleep on him and his how ruthless and everything he can be. Now, what they didn't see is that Nate saw this as well, and Audra was like, I'm not going to. Nate gonna figure out it was Audra who helped Elena understand that he was in L.A. But what you gonna do about it? You already had the girl. So then we see Sally and Nick, and he went and spent the night. Now he got to get up and get Christian ready for school. So he's telling Sally he's about to leave, and she tells him, "Please don't go to Victor and talk to him about anything." And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, girl, all right." We knew he was going, but she has a meeting with Jill, so he wishes her luck. Jill and Chloe and Sally meet up, and they're excited about the meeting. But then Jill calls, and they're just putting a pause on things. They're not making any big moves right now. So the interview about hiring Sally and Chloe on is paused indefinitely. And so they're bummed out about it, but they're like, everything gonna work out, everything's gonna work out. And then Adam comes up, he's like, what's going on? And so Sally tells Adam what's going on with Jill, and he says, come work for me at McCall. She said, you don't even have a job right now. He said, I'm gonna be heading up McCall, and I could use people like you around me, people I trust, and you could even bring Chloe with you. I said, yeah, that do make sense. And so she told him about what Victor did, pretty much trying to get her to sell her baby to him. That's what he did. And he was livid, but she told him she could take care of herself. And he was like, I know you can, but it still makes him mad. So then, but before that, we had actually saw Adam with Chelsea, and they were talking about Connor because Connor is not taking it well that he's about to have a baby sister, and so he's being a brat about it, And they said, you know, we just got to figure out what we need to do. Adam sees Billy and he goes ahead and leaves because he was like, I don't want no problems. So, they greet each other and keep going. So then Billy tells Chelsea, well, how about we have a family night, me, you, Johnny, and Connor, and maybe that'll help Connor with accepting his future baby sister that's coming. And Chloe comes up to them, and Chloe is all depressed, and they're like, "What's up? What's going on with you?" And so she tells them about the whole thing with Jill, and they're like, "Oh gosh, sorry." But then Chelsea ends up having to leave, right? So that leaves Chloe and Billy to talk, and she just tells him, I see that you're good for Chelsea and you support her and you've been a positive influence and you making good decisions. He was like, I don't need a pat on the back, I want to help her because I can't. I don't know why Billy is boring to me, but he is. Let's move on. So then Nikki comes over here and she talks to Victoria. She's like, what's going on with you? I didn't even expect you back. She said, Nate came, and Victoria said, oh, I was, I came back in. She said, I know because Nate was at Neil's service last night. Why didn't you come? And she says, even I guess remembering service, and she said, Devon didn't invite me and all this. And Nikki was like, something's going on. What's going on between you and Nate? And so she lets her know that they crossed the line and they got into personal, and Elena knows about it. And Nikki was like, dang, Victoria, you acting like you don't even care. Like you're very much like your father, where y'all do things, and if it benefits you, it's like you don't care about the other person's feelings. Victoria says she don't need no lecture with this. She and Nate are good. She hates that Elena got hurt, but they're good or whatever. And I said, girl, you just don't care. And so not Adam, Nick goes and he confronts his father, Victor, about Sally. And he said, she passed your test. And see, because we know about your little sick games, putting tests on people, but Sally passed. And Victor said, well, what if she trying to go for a bigger fish or whatever? Victor, take your butt on. So then he Nick gotta go. He just like leaves Sally alone, and then he leaves. And then Adam comes up and he tells Victor, I'm gonna accept the McCall job on a few conditions. You can't bother Sally anymore, and you can't tell me how to run the company. And Victor was like, I don't like conditions and ultimatums and stuff, but he wanted him to run that company, so he said okay. And then he told Victor, okay, cool, because Sally's gonna be working for me. And he said, now why would you do that? He said, because I can. Adam's a trip. So, anyways, Nick comes in and he's livid, and Victoria and Nikki like, "What's going on?" And he tell him about what Victor did with Sally, and Nikki said, "Oh Lord." She said, "But I'm finna leave y'all alone so y'all can talk about your parents. Go talk to your husband." Excuse me. So then, Nick is like, "What's going on with you, Victoria?" And she tells him about Elaine, Sally. She tells him about Nate and how Elena knows. He said, dang, Elena knows. You could tell Nick ain't with this mess. And she said, I, I mean, yes, she knows, but Victoria showed no remorse. He was like, girl, you acting like you don't care. And she said, of course I care that Elena was hurt. He said, I told you not to take your butt on that trip anyways, because you knew something was going to end up happening. And now it's happening. He said, and now I trust Nate even less, because she tried to tell him, stay out of my business. You wanted me to stay out your business with Sally. He said two different things, because Sally, because of you, no longer works with the company, and Nate does. And he couldn't be loyal to his family or Elena. What means makes you think he would be loyal to us, the Newmans, as well as you? What? I said, I don't know. I don't know what she thinking, Nick. I don't know what she thinking. Because Nate is all about Nate. She gonna find out, because I feel like they gonna take Nate on some type of path that I don't know, child. Because I feel like this is about to be a mess, but we'll see. Anyways, guys, that was the Young and the Restless today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you tomorrow for an all new episode of What Happened on the Soaps, the Young and the Restless edition. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.